So what's going on, guys? It's official. We are officially back in the busy season of RideShare. And you know what I think? Trash. Trash, trash, trash. It was busier last year. I mean, it's picked up. Don't get me wrong. It's gotten busier, but the offers, particularly on Uber, have gotten extremely worse because now we have this garbage of shared rides already pulled in. So now you'll get a shared ride offer and it'll tell you like 2 people, and immediately it'll give you another shared ride. They're extremely long pickups. Trash. First of all, the apps know we don't want to do shared rides, period. Some, because we don't want to explain it to you guys. There's a language barrier a lot of times. And honestly, it's doing double work for the pay of one ride. You're doing double work. Don't let them spin it any other way. It's to benefit the company. That's it. Thank God Lyft does not do shared rides. So now we're getting a lot of those thrown in. Like I said, they're extremely long pickups. I'm seeing, first of all, if it's more than 10 minutes to go pick somebody up, I wouldn't even consider it. And I'm talking, these places are like 15-minute pickup for a 5-minute ride. And on that, it has to have the nerve to be a shared ride. So on the way to that long pickup, guaranteed you're going to pick somebody up on the way. No. Trash. I don't even accept those. I think the minimum ride on Uber, if I'm not mistaken, in Connecticut, I think it's $3.95. Could be a little bit smaller. Let me know in the comments. I think it's $3.95. I will not even entertain a offer for $3.95. I don't care how short it is. And I'm gonna tell you why. I know from experience that a regular person will pay you easily $10 for a ride in town, even if it's only 5 minutes up the street. Why would I take $3.95? Why? And granted, they're under the table, illegal, but times are rough. You gotta do what you gotta do. I'm trying to encourage everybody to want to go private this year. Want to take their company private, but realistically, not everybody's gonna have the money for the setup. Because to go private the right way, you're gonna have to have your own LLC, which includes business address. This is if you want to do it the right way. Business address, business phone number, and because you need all this if you want to start generating credit for the business side, for one, and for them to look at it like legit. Obviously, business bank account. There's a lot of setup involved. It's not necessarily that it's overly expensive. What becomes expensive is when you go get the insurance. You got to get the commercial. There's going to be licenses involved on every step. Whether you just want to be taxi delivery, or you want to be courier, or you want to be non-emergency medical transportation. There's different licenses involved with going private that are going to be costly. Not impossible, but costly. So in the meantime, you got to make more money to even get to that level, you know. And then a lot of people out here want to sell overcharged courses on the setup. I'm not saying the RideShare professor, because his is reasonable. I think he's charging like $69.99 or something like that. So that's reasonable. But there's people charging a couple $100 just to show you how to go private. I won't be one of those. on this journey, just so you guys know. I'm working on something that I'm going to start for free. I'm not sure if it's going to be video based or a newsletter. I'm still dabbling with which one. You guys can chime in the comments. Let me know which one you prefer. The newsletter could have visuals as well, so that's something to consider. Something is to build my list, but it doesn't have to necessarily make money. Later, I want to charge a subscription fee, maybe no higher than $9.97 a month, just to support the channel. But that's what I'm working on the journey of becoming private, because I already know how to do the turnover. I already know how to do the business structure. I've set up LLCs, companies. I have a company now, but it's digital, it's online based. So I know the business setup is just really getting the money together for the expensive part, which is probably the insurance, and that's probably most costly, let's be honest. Probably the commercial insurance and maybe a couple of the licenses. I only need one to get started, really. I can go under the NAICS code for taxi and delivery. Just get a combination plate to get going, start making money. Because you got to understand, I'm already making the money. I just got to get the money out of my name into the business. That's the only thing I'll be doing different. Technically, I'm self-employed contractor, but it doesn't benefit me in the future to stay that way, if that makes sense. You know, because I want to get completely private, where I don't have to rely on Uber or Lyft at all. But I know realistically, it's going to take time. It's going to take time. And I had a troll on my channel that for some reason kept coming back, and he has a similar name. I think he just changed the numbers on the end. And he had the nerve to tell me that you can't block me because you barely get that many comments as it is. Blocked. He'll be back, but he's blocked. He said something one time. He was like, never bite the hand that feeds you. Talking about Uber. He was one of those people that pro Uber. Like, don't talk bad about Uber. Why not? What are you gonna do? Deactivate me? That's the worst they could do to me. And honestly, with deactivations, Uber's gotten more lenient, where they're supposedly bringing back everybody they deactivated. You know, I'm sure it's a few exceptions, like people that got legal trouble, but supposedly they're bringing everybody back. Lyft's been doing that for years, guys. Lyft's been bringing back people for years. And going back to this is the busy season, Lyft also, don't let me take Lyft off the hook. They also been sending me trash, but when I put the area filter on, this is a plus. Think about this, Uber. This is why I like Lyft a little bit better. You put that area filter on, I noticed the trash becomes a little bit less. Like, instead of trying to send you to go pick somebody up 15 minutes away for a 5-minute ride, because you're in the area filter that gives you more reasonable trips. The pay ain't necessarily great, but they're more reasonable range trips per dollar. So I'm finding that Lyft's become more enjoyable than Uber, I have to say. And the fact they give you 3 of those area filters a day is pretty nice. I'm convinced that's why we get such crazy offers on Uber, because it's wide open. You know, they try to get me to go to New York. They try to get me to go to Massachusetts for like 20, 30 bucks. I'm in Connecticut. Look on the map. I'm in Connecticut. You're trying to send me to New York City for like, at the highest, I think, 80 or 90. But you gotta think it's dead space coming back. I think I got offered a trip to go all the way to Mass for like pennies on the dollar. Come on, Uber. So that area filter on Lyft, not the greatest thing in the world, but I do like that feature. Now, I don't know what happened with the earnings guarantee. I don't see anything from it. It's hard to find in the app, if you notice. I'm sure you can find it easier online, but on the app, it's really funny how they have it in the app. Like, when you're not earning from it. But I'm not crying about it. I'm still able, with all these complaints that I have for both companies, lately, because it's the busy season, I've managed to now go back to the 120 a day within about 5 to 6 hours. But that's cherry picking. If you don't cherry pick, you will be all over Connecticut. You'll make more money, but you'll be all over Connecticut. And if you match up what you made per mile, per minute, you're killing your car. That's the point of cherry picking. You know, make what you want to make, but within a reasonable mileage. I'm killing my car part-time. Part-time. So imagine what some of these people are doing, because Uber's saying you can make more money lately. Yes, if you do everything Uber gives you, throw everything they throw at you. I'm talking about your Uber driver. Let's say you're on every tier. You do food delivery, so you're doing that too. You do pets. You do all these scams that they're pushing on you. You do packages. You will make probably a few $100s a day. You'll make good money. But you'll be broke. Your car will be worn out. You won't have a family. You won't have a girlfriend. You won't see your dog. You won't see your cat. You'll literally be driving to make that money, and you can't sustain that. Now, if you have a plan, like you want to work super hard for that month to do something with the money, I get it. But you cannot live like that or go through cars like that for this little bit of money. This is what we mean. You can make money driving Uber or Lyft. You can. But it's starting to be not worth it if you match up the wear and tear and damage you're doing to your car, because you can eliminate that middleman, make the money faster. I notice when I'm getting close to my quota for the day, the apps start playing games almost. They don't want to give you the shorter rides. It's almost like I feel like that. It could be coincidence, but it feels like those last few trips of the day are really, really far. And they're either really, really super short, meaning Lyft will give you a ride for $3. Yes, $3. Or they're really, really long. It's usually not in between. It's almost like the apps know I'm about to go home. Well, they can track you. They see where you're going. But trash this year for a busy season, guess what, guys? That's all. That was the good news. Here's the bad news. It's gonna get worse next year. So yes, I agree with the RideShare professor on going private is the only way you're gonna secure future in transportation, because you can build your business credit with a private rideshare business. You know, the first year you might lose a little bit because the setup costs, but guaranteed the following year you'll easily make more money. You could still do Uber and Lyft, because that's where you're going to get the customers from. My landlord asked me that. He was like, well, how do you get private rides? I was like, you simple steal them from the apps. And he was like, oh my God, I didn't. It was like amazing to him, you know. And it's not hard or complicated. You know, a lot of these RideShare YouTubers, they make it seem like they only have the special sauce on how to convert these people. These people, it's easy to convert because they're paying so much money. I don't have to be a good salesperson. I don't. I simply say, well, how much are you paying every day? Oh my God, I'm paying $40, $50. Oh man, I could do that same trip for only $30. It's that easy. It's that easy. And if you have, definitely when I get my new LLC for this transportation company, I'm going to have every payment processing app on the planet. I'm not going to give anybody an excuse not to have a way to pay me. That's the way you got to do this, you know, because cash is no longer king as far as transactions. A lot of people don't carry cash. That's why they like the apps. We got to make it convenient for them to pay. And if I could, honestly, I would not only go private, but I want to find a way how we can have an app internally for our company, meaning everybody we on board, we give them an app that they can use to pay us. It's not that hard to build an app where you're only going to have a few hundred people. You're not going to have thousands of people on this app. It's only going to ever be a few hundred people to just pay you within your state. And it doesn't need as many bells and whistles. All they're going to do is book a ride with you. And now this is how you're going to grow your transportation company. As you bring on drivers, you show them how to use the app. So this is something I'm looking forward to building in the future. So I got a lot of goals, a lot of dreams. But all I got is time. You know, it's not like RideShare is going anywhere tomorrow. And I do sell some affiliate offers by way of my other channels. And I'm still renting one room. I'm getting rid of the one I suspect to be on drugs. He's actually leaving this month, the 27th. I think it's a Friday. He's out of there. I don't want to bring anybody else in. I'm keeping the one guy that pays me on time, and I'll just move back into that room. It's only a 2-bedroom. I just had a huge living room with the dining room attached. That's where I used to sleep. I'll just go back to the bedroom. Be happy with the one good guy that does not give me problems, pays every month. Focus on putting out content on the other channels and just keep the hamster wheel going, you know, because RideShare is never going to be enough. People are really surprised. The passengers are surprised and taken back a little bit when I tell them, you know, a lot of passengers are kind of confused. Well, you talk bad about them and you hate them. Why do you do it? Flexibility. I like to compare it to like fast food. You can work fast food restaurant and get paid that money and have to go ask to go to the bathroom, ask to take a vacation, call out sick, or you can do RideShare, where literally I can make after expenses. Before expenses, I would make more than the average fast food worker. After expenses, it's probably equal. But I have one thing they don't have, flexibility, and I could do other things. I have more control over my time. Right now, I'm sitting here wasting time shooting a video where if you worked at that fast food restaurant, you got to rush to work. And I'm probably going to be the one to bring you. That's the difference. But truly, it's not like RideShare is the problem. There's money to be made in transportation. You got non-emergency medical transportation. That's where you're professional. And I could have helped that guy in the video I talk about, the Lyft passenger, that I didn't want to help bring in, you know, for liability reasons because he was all banged up and bruised from falling down in front of his house. I picked him up from the hospital. For liability reasons, I didn't want to bring him in. But if I was trained and being paid the right way, had the right training, I would take the liability because I'm getting paid. This is an $8 ride. I would not risk liability for that. And then when you're self-employed, when you do go 100% private, you're going to have your own insurance. You're going to have your own coverage for all this stuff in case things go wrong, you know. And non-emergency medical transportation, you're going to have your own insurance to cover you in situations like that, outside of just the standard commercial, you know. That's another route you could go in the same transportation company. Or you just do taxi and delivery. Do the same thing you're doing with Uber, Lyft, food delivery, but under your own LLC. You pay yourself, W-2. That little bit of money in the middle, you got to make more than you pay yourself, obviously. You pay yourself, you know, you bring in hopefully 7 a week and you pay yourself 5. So you can leave that little cushion in the bank. That alone is enough to help you get the business credit. Maybe you go buy another vehicle, bring on another driver. You see where this could go? The possibilities are endless in transportation, but there's no future in rideshare. There's no long-term future. That's why I'm encouraging people to still do gig economy now, why you still have the flexibility part, and it somewhat could pay if you combine all the apps. I might have to do food delivery when I start this. Rideshare is not enough. I might have to. You know, I'm starting to watch videos, not just DoorDash, but I hear there's a company called Deliver That, and these weird names, these food delivery, luxury food delivery apps. I might have to dabble with other things. I might have to dabble in it just being a private courier. That's an option. You know, a perfect example, a flower shop needs a driver every day, certain drop-offs, and they're willing to pay you this much. This is in their budget to pay you. They don't have to pay a W-2 wage. They might be more willing to pay you because you're a direct company owner for a flat fee, say per day or per week. The possibilities of options, the possibilities are endless, I should say. The options are wide open. And no, I'm not smart. I don't try to pretend I'm smart. I just see things differently than a lot of you might not be looking at it. You might just get up and you're in this robot mode where you just get up, do the same thing, get your coffee, just drive, 10, 12 hours a day. You're exhausted. You're not having sex with your wife. You don't spend time with your kids. Who wants to live like that? Nobody wants to live like that. And passengers are starting to tell me, I've had passengers solicit me, you got a business card? Why do you think that's happening? They're getting tired of the overpriced fees, and they know it's not going to the driver. Make this make sense. I'm not just here to complain. I'm here to try to give solutions. Not just for today, but tomorrow. Subscribe, like, comment, click that bell icon. Check the links below, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Thank you.